Welcome to Keepin' It Real, your go-to radio show for fresh insights and vibrant introductions. Get ready to dive into a world where we offer you the latest in real estate wisdom and the juiciest community tidbits. From expert advice courtesy of top realtors to opportunities to give back through local charities, we've got you covered. Plus, we'll shine a spotlight on the young athletes driving our local sports scene and uncover the buzzworthy happenings both in town and beyond. Stay tuned for a jam-packed hour of enlightenment and entertainment right here on Keepin' It Real.
What's in a name? Everything. Long Realty has been a cornerstone of Southern Arizona's real estate market for nearly 100 years. Our name is our bond, and our agents are our strength. Trust in the name that stands for experience and expertise. Visit longrealty.com or call 520-459-4993 to connect with an agent today. Long Realty. Smart move.
All right, welcome this Saturday morning to Keepin' It Real. This is Dion Ethell, and I'll be your host with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios right behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. Before I introduce our guest today, I want to give a shout out to the Sierra Vista Lions Club, who are back at it again with Project Linus. Yep, it's Make a Blanket Morning, and it's today. That's right, this morning at 9 a.m. till noon, down at the Salvation Army Community Center. That's 180 East Wilcox Drive in Sierra Vista right here. That's right, the Sierra Vista Lions Club, in partnership with Project Linus and the Salvation Army, is hosting a community service project to make blankets for children facing trauma, illness, or difficult times. These blankets will provide comfort, warmth, and love to children who need it most, and we've talked about it a ton of times. We've had a number of people here on the show talking about it, but you can come down and volunteer your time, and you can make a no-sew tied fringe fleece blanket, crochet borders on pre-cut fleece, or color quilt squares for one-of-a-kind quilts. This is a family-friendly event, so come down and serve the community with the Lions Club and the Salvation Army to make a difference together. There'll be light refreshments available while supplies last. Again, it's today, this morning, 9 a.m. to noon, so right after the show. All right, steering back to our guest, patiently waiting in the studio today, this morning, I've got Shannon Harris, and she's going to be talking to us. We're kind of extending, I guess, our health and wellness piece here, and Shannon's going to be talking to us about kind of another niche that we have in the community. And so welcome to the show, first of all, Shannon.
Oh, thank you, Dion.
And we're going to be talking about kind of your little side business that you've got, Melaleuca, and we're going to be talking about that. And last week, we had Pam Chandler from Sierra Vista Food Co-op, and she was talking to us all about kind of New Year's resolutions, and we're kind of going to extend our conversation just a little bit about that. But before we do that, we got to get to know you. So let's start off there. Let's get to know you a little bit, tell our listeners a little bit about where you come from. Now, first of all, I always ask everybody, are you from here? Did you grow up here? Did you transfer in here? How long have you been in Sierra Vista?
I have been in Sierra Vista for 46 years.
Okay, so a long time. And you were you born here then?
I was actually born in the old hospital on Fort Huachuca that burnt down.
Oh, wow.
And then the next question that's usually asked, so I'll answer that one, is
okay.
I am a proud Tombstone graduate.
A Tombstone graduate. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Buena, at that time, it was the old Buena.
Okay.
On Fry.
Yeah.
When I was in school.
Oh, wow.
So,
well, that's cool. So you've got some history here. You've seen a few things then. What was that like growing up in town from your perspective? What was that like being a young lady here in town back when it was much, I don't know, was it smaller? Was it still hustling and bustling because it was of the fort? And
it was. The changes that I've seen are remarkable. I will say that.
Okay.
And when I go back to both places that I grew up, because I grew up where I live now out in Whetstone, but I also grew up in Hereford.
Okay.
My parents were divorced and remarried.
Okay.
And so I lived outlying.
Right.
So coming into town was exciting for us when we came into town. And because we didn't come all the time, and I didn't have a vehicle.
Right.
But the changes and how big it has gotten.
Yeah.
For example, out in Hereford,
Yeah.
When I was out there was nothing. When we had Ricardo's and everything, there used to be nothing out there.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Nothing. And people would hang glide off the cliff.
What? Really?
Yeah, they would hang glide off the cliff. I almost did it one year.
Oh, yeah.
I chickened out. But down past Hereford,
Yeah.
all that area down, there were no houses.
Nothing.
It was nothing. So to see that. And
So
how
was the
much
bright spot out there? Was that a thing? Or was it really just a bright spot somewhere out there?
Yeah, it seemed like just a thing.
Truly just a bright spot. Oh, okay.
But,
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's nice. Coming into town meant at that time there was A.J. Bayless in McCormick, which is now where the Manny's Market is in that area in there.
Right.
That was where we did our grocery shopping and stuff. And
Oh,
we used to
wow.
love to go into McCormick's, and and then you had Solgar City, which is right there where Lee's.
So this is probably a blast from the past for some people who know.
In some of those aspects, yeah, because my mom worked there.
Okay.
So just a lot of changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jack in the Box. We were talking about this just the other day, my sister and I, and because she'd asked me, she said, "You see where Jack in the Box closed down?" I said, "Yes." Can you believe it? I said, "I worked at that Jack in the Box before I left for the military."
Oh, no kidding.
That's how. Yep.
A lot of changes, a lot of interesting history behind this town. Of course, I mean, this whole area here, we talk about it all the time, how there's so much history behind the area. But even just in a lifetime, how much it's changed in such a short amount of time. I remember I had friends out here, and so we would visit oftentimes. So I still remember when it was, just a 5-strand barbed wire fence down at the border, and there was, it was a different look to town and to the outlying areas. And they lived out in the what really was the country back then, and there really weren't very many houses at all around them. So kind of interesting. Speaking of the military, you said you have some military service, so thank you for your service. Tell me a little bit about that. Where did you start? What was, what kind of work did you do as you served in the military?
I started out as an ophthalmology technician.
Okay. And this was in the U.S. Army?
Correct.
Okay.
In the Army. And that took me to various places. So San Antonio a couple times for school. I had the pleasure of going to Colorado at Fitzsimmons, and then Fort Eustis, Virginia, and D.C.
Okay.
So fantastic as a kid. I was doing exactly what I wanted to do. Travel. Meet people, get educated, and then I went to Korea.
What was that like? And that was a while ago, so have you ever been back since then?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
But my niece has been there visiting her son, and the pictures from Seoul and everything.
Yeah.
It brought back so many fun memories.
Oh, that's cool.
If I had not been accepted to nursing school, I would have extended for another year. I had a blast and just traveling all over. But the job I had was fun because I was able to do that. I had to check on the different eye clinics and do the physicals and stuff like that.
Now, was that something you were, like when you were a young person kind of going to high school and everything, were you thinking of the medical industry as a career?
I was as a nurse, and at the time they told me, okay, we don't have any openings. However, it's okay.
Do this first.
Do this first. It's in the medical arena. It's easy to transfer over.
Okay. Was it easy to transfer over?
No.
They got you.
They got me, but it's okay. I still learned some phenomenal things, met some great people.
Yeah.
And the experiences were priceless. So it was a win-win.
So after Korea, where did that take you then? Did you go?
Washington.
Okay.
I went to Texas first for the initial class, and then to Washington for my clinicals at Fort Lewis, Washington.
Yeah.
In the old hospital. So there may be some people now that have been up there that have been in the new hospital. I haven't been in the new hospital, but it
Okay.
had 7 miles of hallway, Dion.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been great if I'd had this smartwatch back then.
There weren't any smartwatches back then.
There weren't.
Yeah,
There
no
weren't.
Fitbits or anything, yeah, even. And so you had nothing to count your steps, but 7 miles?
7 miles of hallway.
That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, you'd have to have some good shoes, too. Oh, my gosh, you'd wear your shoes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So you had this career in the military. You eventually went and became a licensed practical nurse. And so that kind of gave you that background. Was it your intent then to just stick into that field then originally? Yeah. Then when you came out of the military, where did you land? Did you come right back here?
No, I landed in Kentucky. So I was at
Kentucky.
Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Okay.
I stayed there for a little bit. I did home health, and I took care of a ventilator-dependent child.
Oh, wow.
There were a couple of us, and we would rotate. That was a wonderful experience.
Now, was that different? I mean, did you have a specialty when you were in the military?
Well, the military works just a little bit different. So
Okay.
they'll give you an idea of, okay, how would you like to do this? And okay, give us your top 2.
Right, your
So you
wish
do-
list. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you don't get
You don't
it.
get any of those.
So, for example, I started out in labor and delivery right out of nursing school
Okay.
in the military, which, again, was great, but that wouldn't have
That
been
wasn't your
that
choice, yeah.
wasn't my choice. So for me, I believe in a lot of aspects that was what helped me be so successful
Oh,
in life.
really?
Really, because you still had the training. You learned as you went in the different specialties,
Yeah.
and they would move you based on need. Whether you were ready or not, you still had the opportunity to learn. And I'm not saying they just dropped you in there and they
Right. Yeah.
didn't teach you or anything or provide you the support, but I believe it made me more well-rounded.
Okay. That makes sense.
An
Yeah.
individual.
Okay. I always think that, you always hear people talk about, well, I signed up for this or this, and on my wish list I had this, and I didn't get any of those, and I did this, but it turned out really great, and I learned a lot from it. And I think more than anything, it gives people, especially some of these young people, an opportunity to find, I don't even know how to put this, but find something they can enjoy or like, even though it wasn't what they chose. And sometimes that's part of life, right? You don't always get a pick. And sometimes that's good to have a little bit of letdown and have it turn out okay. So it makes us a better person, I think.
Exactly.
So I love it. And so now when you came out, so you went into nursing and you did some specialty work in Kentucky. And then where'd you go?
I came back home.
You came back home. And were you immediately go into nursing out here? And how long were you in nursing total as you kind of made this your career?
Over 30, about 32, 33 years.
Wow, that's a long time. That's awesome. And was it everything you hoped it to be? Did you enjoy it? I mean, you must have for that long. It wasn't just a job, I'm assuming. You started out with this service background and then you went into this, you're kind of still in service, even though you're not in the military anymore, you're serving people and helping people. Was that just a passion for you or?
Yes. So interestingly, how I ended up in that as well, because before I joined the military, I did sign up and I was going to do computer work.
Okay.
IT type stuff. And
Yeah.
my mom said, now, the money is fixing them as well, so you want to add that in there.
Right.
And so DeVry Technical Institute out of Phoenix,
Yeah.
I had been accepted to go. And then I discovered, no, I can't. It's not for me. Sometimes when you're like, okay, what is my purpose and what is my passion? It came back again that, okay, you're gonna go into nursing, you're gonna be a nurse. So it ended up coming back around in that regard. With the nursing, several things I learned. The first job that I was put into, labor and delivery, people would ask, doesn't that ever get boring? You're delivering baby. Never. The look on the parents' faces when their child was placed in their arms
Yeah. Pretty priceless.
It's priceless, right?
Yeah.
My second passion in nursing were the elderly and hospice and so forth, because there's still something that, you know, when a baby is born, there's somebody with them most of the time, right? People deserve to have somebody with them
On the way out.
Or they deserve to be treated with that respect.
Yeah, dignity.
And the dignity on the way out. So those were the two major passions of mine.
That's awesome.
In nursing. So I did discover that.
Love it. Well, it's that time. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back to it. Again, I'm with Shannon Harris, and we're talking about really just her background right now, just kind of building up, kind of find out what makes her tick, and obviously huge background in the healthcare industry and in the military. And so obviously that's going to lead us right into kind of our topic of health and wellness and talking about her little side business here. But we're still got some more to learn about her. And we'll be right back, folks, with Keepin' It Real, brought to you by Sherry Ethell and her team right here at Long Realty. We'll be right back.
In a town with heart and history, the Sherry Ethell Team is the key. Serving service that we agree. For military law and retirees. Stress-free process you will see. Personal care is our guarantee. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team, we never halt. Real experts here to guide your way, making dreams come true every single day. Trust a team that knows just what to do. The Sherry Ethell Team, working for you. Real integrity, real results. The Sherry Ethell Team is your one and only call.
It's the Home Spotlight Series, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, where home stories are told until they're sold.
Welcome to 434 Meadowood in Sierra Vista's Vista View Resort, a charming 2-bedroom, 2-bath home with office and den, offering 1,408 square feet of thoughtful updates and move-in ready comfort. Enjoy an open living layout with the kitchen, dining, and living space together, a spacious kitchen with Corian counters, double oven, and stainless appliances, plus updated tile floors and baths. You'll appreciate the newer HVAC system replaced in 2024 and a well-maintained flat roof for peace of mind. This premium lot backs to a green space for privacy, desert views, and a covered patio, perfect for outdoor living. A block wall surrounds the yard and a 2-car garage at convenience. All this within Vista View Resort's gated 55-plus community featuring clubhouse, heated pool and spa, pickleball trails, a dog park, and an active social calendar. Offered now at just $195,000.
Set up an appointment today. Buy and sell with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. We make success stories for a living.
All right, folks, welcome back. I'm Dion Ethell, and this is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by Sherry Ethell and her team right here at Long Realty Studios behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. And we are in the studio today talking with Shannon Harris, and we're getting it close to talking about her side business here. I promise you we will talk about it. This is kind of a business spotlight, but we really wanted to kind of touch base because last week, like say we had some folks on talking about our New Year's resolutions, and this time of year, everybody kind of starts to think about days that gone by and what they're thankful for and all the great things about bringing family together and everything. And they think, gosh, I should really lose weight. I should really quit smoking. I should really do this. You really do that, get healthier. And I think we all think that oftentimes, but the funny thing is we all know also that it's big business to sign everybody up for the fitness centers on January 1st, January 2nd. And then by March at least, their people start to just trail off and they don't complete their effort. So we're talking a little bit about how you might be able to make this more of a sustainable effort. And so Shannon, we were talking, and if you're just tuning in, Shannon has this huge background here. She was in the Army, raised right here in our little community here. So she's seen a lot of things here locally change. But then she traveled around the country, even around the world, in some different parts of not just our nation, but other parts of the world in her military service. But her military service was really focused around I think you said ophthalmology, am I right? And then also nursing. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of leading us up to, she spent 32, 33 years in nursing. You've been retired for 5-6 years now, somewhere around there. And then, we're kind of to this point where, okay, so you retired from nursing now, but you've got this side business. And before we go back we might circle back into some of your background a little bit too. Let's talk a little bit about your business. So tell me about your business and what it is and what kinds of products you offer.
Okay, so I'm a director with Melaleuca, which is the largest online wellness company. They're a privately owned company. They're the manufacturer and deliverer of wellness products based out of Idaho. So my business is just that, just helping people recognize and change a few items in their home at a time to make healthy, sustainable choices for themselves. So a lot of people think supplements. Okay, that's part of it. Healthy snacks, that's part of it. Cleaning products is a huge part of it because they're concentrated, they're natural. They take out all those toxins that we don't need to be breathing and so forth. And there's studies behind it for their products and so forth. And then we also have those products that are for the fitness buff. Then we also have the men's line, and we also have for those beauty conscious, which is most everybody, we have the skincare products. There's over 400 products.
Yeah, that kind of blew me away, 400, because we use Melaleuca at home, and it just surprised me that there was that many products.
So it's hard to think about, okay, which way. It's a vast array. When we talk about wellness, it's not a matter of all or nothing, although that would be nice. But people are going to change things that hurt. And what I mean by that, right? Otherwise, if it's not affecting them at the moment, they're not going to change it because they don't.
Hasn't become a problem yet for us, right?
Correct. It hasn't become a problem to where we want to affect that change.
That's kind of too bad, honestly, that we wait and do that, but that's human nature, I guess.
Right. So what I like to do is try to help guide people, even if it's a small area, even if it's just their cleaning products. I never thought about it when I was growing up. I stood in the tub with the Comet and the...
right.
And then in the military, we used to fumigate ourselves out of the building so we would think we would not have to do it by, mixing stuff that you're not supposed to mix together. But they've done studies with cleaning supplies, our traditional ones, okay, that it's the equivalent for women, and I don't want to exclude men, but mainly women at home cleaning and all that kind of stuff. It's equivalent to smoking cigarettes for 20 years.
Oh, my gosh.
And for people that never smoked.
Wow.
So if you can change one small thing.
Right, that would be a good one.
Right?
Holy cow.
Why not try to do that?
It's funny that you bring up that too, because we oftentimes don't realize it until, like you said, something goes wrong. And for me, so like 15 years ago, I started having this allergy issue and trying to dig down to it. We finally figured out what it was, and it's the cleaning products on eggs. So I'm not allergic to the egg itself. I am allergic to the cleaning products, the modern cleaning products they use in the process of cleaning those eggs. And we're not sure exactly what cleaning product it is because they use so many different kinds, and different kinds. But, my son was actually working in a very large one here in Arizona, and that's what cued us in, because I was like, I don't understand. I love eggs, and I've always eaten eggs, but all of a sudden I'm really having this really bad problem. And it just seems like it's getting worse. And he says, well, we put a lot of chemicals on those things, and eggs are pretty porous, that shell. And so, and now, of course, I raise my own chickens, and I have fresh eggs. And, if you've ever seen a yolk from a fresh egg, it's very bright orange. If you see a store-bought egg, not trying to turn people off from store-bought eggs, but it's very bleached looking. Well, to some of us, evidently, that cleaning product doesn't sit well with us. And so there you go. I mean, you don't really realize it until you have a personal connection. And then you realize, wow, this stuff's probably not good for me. Holy cow.
Which this is great, like conversations like this, and this is what I get to have with people all the time, because we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
Right? It's like, oh, I never thought about that.
No kidding.
It's like, I mean, our skin is the largest organ that takes things in. And
Right.
we don't think about what is in our clothes, how long we're absorbing it, different things like that. We're just like, okay, no, I haven't changed the soap I use. I haven't done this or whatever, but we
really
don't.
overlook it. And it's such an important part of us. And yet we just kind of look past it. Boy, that's something else. And this time of year, of course, more of us are even thinking about it. You know, man, I should work out more, or I should do this more. But then these simple things, like you mentioned your skin, you know, and I got to be honest, the way you put it there kind of made me think a little bit more, because when I think of skin, honestly, I think of my wife and putting all these products on, and she's got her whole like regiment of things she does to her skin. I don't do any of those. It's hard enough just to get her to put, you know, for me to put lotion on my elbows, but it's true. And you definitely notice, you know, people who take really good care of their skin and people who don't, but it goes more than that, you know, like you're saying. It's really a health thing for long term, and we don't realize there's probably not as many. I don't know, maybe there are a lot of studies, I don't know, that show that how important this really should be in our life.
There are. I wouldn't. I mean, you can look up just about anything and figure out. So the important thing about that is once you look something up and you test it out, that you actually do for yourself, not for what you think it should have done, because that's how you saw it on somebody else.
Oh, yeah, right.
So not everything is going to work the same. And by the same token, I like to caution people that they may try something that doesn't work for them.
Sure, yeah.
But that doesn't mean that product is not a good product.
Right.
So that's what I like to caution.
Well, I imagine some people probably get more benefit than others in different levels and increments and whatnot, right? Yeah.
And supplements, sometimes we don't think about. We're like, okay, the doctor says I have to take a multivitamin. Not all multivitamins are the same.
No?
No. just going to tell you,
I don't know,
not all,
just get
not
one off
all
the
of them are the
shelf.
same. So when you're taking supplements, sometimes you're like, okay, they think because they're doing it on it would be the same as if they were trying to figure out the right combination of herbs that they were putting together for themselves.
Right.
And they were trying to follow the recipe that says, okay, for this particular ailment or whatever, you need to get these herbs and put this amount in there. Well, if it doesn't work for you, that doesn't mean that those herbs didn't work. It
Are
just
useless,
means that
right?
It just means that maybe you need a little bit more, or maybe it was too much for you and you need to work into it.
So how do you get down into the weeds on that? How do you decipher that?
Well, this is where having one-on-one conversations with individuals. So it's always best for me to be able to talk to people. Because sometimes they're just going to be shallow. You're like we're talking now.
Right.
But there may, if you had something else going on that it was a little bit more personal, you may be trying to get information to see about some things. But if we were able to talk a little bit more privately and I could ask questions and say, okay, are you doing this, this, and this? The doctor has me on this, this, and this. Okay, we'll adjust because it's not a replacement.
Yeah.
Okay. However, the supplements that we do have been known to be able to get people off of certain prescription medications and be overall healthier. But we don't recommend just cutting it out cold turkey. We want you to have your doctor involved.
Yeah.
But there's conversations that need to be had with the individual, because there's more than just, okay, let me toss this supplement at it.
Right. You're not just selling a supplement, you're selling health and wellness.
Correct.
As a whole.
We're looking at their genetics and so forth, what they're predisposed to.
Right.
I've
heard that too.
Are they looking at, are you more concerned with heart health, or are you more predisposed to bone density issues? Different things for different people. This is where taking into consideration It's not just, go over there and take
So
those.
the cookie cutter approach to your health is not exactly the best way.
No.
That would be me. I guess it's funny because I was sitting here, same chairs, and in fact, I was sitting talking to Pam with the food co-op, and we were joking about it. I said, why does it sound like you're talking to me? And you probably are. You're kind of talking about me, and I probably take a much more cookie cutter approach to it, which probably isn't the right thing to do. Now, if somebody were listening today and they're driving their car or they're sitting at the service station getting some gas, doing whatever at home, and they were like, maybe I should call somebody. How do they get a hold of you? First, let's start with that. How do they reach you?
My phone number is 520-226-7769. Please leave a message, because if you don't and I don't recognize, then I'm going to think it's a spam. But if you leave a message saying, I'm interested in, then I will get back in touch with you.
Okay.
Or you can send an email to shannonh265@gmail.com.
Okay.
And I will respond to your email.
Okay. We'll mention that a couple more times, folks, while we're listening here. But just to give shout out to her and to so you can contact her later. Just kind of wanted to get that started. Now, when somebody, let's just say I say, hey, I'm interested in this and everything, what kind of the first things you do? Is it just a conversation about kind of if I'm taking medications already, or if I'm taking supplements, or what if you don't even know where to start? Like, if you were to take on me, it would probably be a long haul, because it would be first stop the Coca-Cola, and let's start talking about what kinds of things you would like to do. Is it a whole approach, a holistic approach to your body, or is it you kind of want to focus on certain parts that they want to focus on? How does that work?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
So if they're coming to me, they already have an idea of what they're interested in or what concerns they're having, and they want to see if I can help.
Okay.
Once I have that dialed in, then I can say, okay, let's look at this as well. And then I show them the other options that are available, and then try to keep having conversations with them and so forth. And also trying to connect them to people also that have had success with the same issue that they may be having.
Okay. That's helpful.
And then follow up and so forth, because I don't know what I don't know either. I kind of need that same interaction that you would have with your nurse practitioner or your physician. And I would and have in the past said, please take this. I'm going to give you the picture. I want you to tell them exactly everything you're taking, because some of these supplements will interact with medication that you're taking.
That's great.
They need to know that.
And that's great that, you have all this, decades of experience being a nurse, that you're already thinking that whole process too. I've got so many questions, but I got to take a break. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back, folks. And this is Dion Ethell with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios, and this is Keepin' It Real. We'll be right back.
Discover excellence in real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County. Sherry's amazing team brings honesty, expertise, and a deep understanding of the local market. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned homeowner, they're committed to your peace of mind and handle every detail for you. Their approach? Personalized service, above and beyond transactional real estate, building lifelong relationships, nationwide connections, local expertise. There's a reason this team is amongst the top realtors in Arizona and across the nation. You owe it to yourself to call or visit the Sherry Ethell Team, the top team at Long Realty, behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more info. Real integrity, real results.
Tax time is here, but before you spend your refund, consider real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. It's a great way to move from renter to homeowner and on the road to building wealth.
Hi, I'm Sherry Ethell, Realtor and Team CEO of the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. Think of me as your guide to all things real estate. I tailor my approach to your needs and, most importantly, your goals. It's time to come see me and get a plan for your success.
Discover excellence in real estate with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, your premier choice in Cochise County. Visit Sherry at Long Realty behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard in Sierra Vista. Call or text 717-599-2439 or Google us for more information. Real integrity, real results. All right, welcome back, folks, this Saturday morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and this is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by Sherry Ethell and the team here at Long Realty Studios. And I'm sitting in the studio with Shannon Harris. We've been talking about health and wellness. She actually is a director for Melaleuca, and we were talking a little bit about kind of just a holistic approach to health and well-being, and just trying to figure out, okay, what does she provide in terms of helping you set your own goals and those kinds of things, and then how it was really interesting talking about just how her approach is to make sure that she's, I guess, kind of developing a baseline of some kind as to what medications you might be taking, what other kinds of things you're doing, so that she can get a feel for where she needs to kind of guide you a little bit. And then being 100% transparent with your physician or anybody else that you're working with to make sure that everything is interacting, I guess, the way it should work, and that it's beneficial to you. Just curious on that topic, Shannon. So like vitamins, I'm just going to say it. Hopefully Sherry won't kill me, but Sherry takes a lot of vitamins, right? She just believes in them. I don't take any. And so, but it probably should, doctor says, it's probably not a bad thing to do these things because, your body's changing, your metabolism's slowing down, you're just about to turn 60. So, life's changing a little bit. You need to adjust. But I always wonder, if you're taking all these vitamins, is there a point where you kind of get to overkill, or no? Is it all just going to be beneficial to you? Am I throwing you for a loop?
Nope, that's a good question. So here again, what I usually recommend, and it's all about learning to listen to yourself and to your body. For you, I would think that just a multivitamin would be beneficial, because the food that we eat, if we try to grow it in our own garden and so forth, because the soil has been so depleted and everything, it does not pack the same nutrients that food did a long time ago. In that regard, having, doing the supplements is important. If you're not having an issue with other things, and, your physicals are coming back well and your lab work is showing that you're doing well, then no, I wouldn't recommend taking all the other stuff. If you know that, for you, since we're getting real and stuff, I would
keeping it real.
I'm going to keep it real. I would talk to you about, okay, how are you keeping healthy with your prostate? Because there's things that you can take supplement wise.
Some of those things, you really don't think about much.
That would be because everything's working well.
Right. Oh yeah, going back to your thing. Yeah.
But here again,
that's a good point.
Sometimes, why should I take something if something's not broke? Well, why do you have insurance? You haven't had an accident.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Okay. So,
well, maybe a little portionally because I have to. But
well, on that regard, yes. But here, nowadays, when we are having to become such advocates for ourselves, the changes in healthcare, whether people can afford healthcare.
That's a good point.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I'm trying to help people think about those things. It's much easier to be proactive and try to keep yourself healthy than it is to try to catch up after all the years of neglect. Because I'll tell you what ends up happening. People neglect their body, and then finally they get scared, and then they hit that point where it's like, okay, now I'm going to have to do something, and they want a miracle cure. They want something that is going to fix them now,
and it doesn't happen that way.
And it doesn't happen that way. There are so many different holistic practitioners out there that offer different modalities that can all be beneficial, that might work for some, they're not going to work for others. So that's what I also like to try to do is, I'm not saying I am the end-all, be-all. I'm just a portion of what can be for somebody that could help. Some people don't have that time to be able to go and buy the different herbs and then put it all together, or the different
Right.
cleaning products and put it all together and make it. Well, this
Right.
way, I have a team that does that for you already, and all you have to do is mix water with it and use
Right,
it like
something
it's
easy.
supposed to. Or, yeah,
Well, you are
exactly.
talking to me for sure, right? For sure. Yeah, that brings up some good thoughts there too, because kind of like the doc was saying too. For me, that you're getting a little older, and I notice even in my own body, right? Everything. You notice those plateaus, right? You hit that 40, you 40-year-olds, you're so lucky, but you don't know it yet. You think you're aching. Wait till you get to 50 and then 60 and so forth. And so you start to feel things a little more, and your body's talking to you a little bit more about things. And so I can kind of understand that. And I probably should be doing a lot more preventative before it gets too late, because sometimes too, even your eating habits change a little bit. I noticed I don't eat nearly as much. Obviously, when I had the opportunity, my nephew came home for Christmas and everything from the military, and he gets here and he eats like a horse. And I was like, oh man, I used to eat like that too. And then I was looking at my portion and I was thinking, wow, yeah, I really slowed down on my eating. And then I started to think about, what was it like last year? And I was thinking, wow, actually, I don't even eat as much as I did last year. Huh. Okay. Maybe Sherry's on to something. Maybe I need to start thinking about a supplement or something just to make sure I'm getting all the nutrients I need. Mm-hmm. And so it started to get me thinking about that. So this is really honestly interests me a lot as well, just this whole topic.
And what's neat about the company that I represent is they have total disclosure. I mean, when you go onto your wife's store,
yeah,
because it is a store. It's got aisles in it. It's got over 400 products. It's separated in bath and body, cleaning,
Well, tell me
supplements.
about that a little bit, because she's connected to this, and I haven't been as personally connected to it. So I'm probably like some of the listeners out here who don't know any better. So if you were to go to the website, how would I look them up? I mean, do you connect them?
I
you
connect them
you.
and so forth. I give them
Okay.
a free shopping tour and so forth. And
Oh,
show
okay,
them.
cool.
But it's
And so
different.
every person gets kind of like their own store?
They would
kind
get
of
their,
like
they would get their
storefront?
own storefront.
Okay.
They go in, they could shop, and then if they are trying to see what is in a certain it'll actually show the product.
The
It will,
detail.
just as if you were holding the item.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
But what's different is they have their ingredient philosophy. It'll tell
that?
why they chose those particular
okay.
products, what it does for you, and so forth. And their delivery system on their supplements is patented, and it's called oligotechnology. Our body, when we're eating regular fruits and vegetables and so forth, recognizes the natural form. What the researchers did is they discovered, and it was actually a physician that did it, there's a coating that's on the outside of the supplements that when you take it in, the body recognizes it as if it were in its natural form, so you are absorbing more of the nutrients that you are taking in from that supplement.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that's when people say, why Melaleuca? That's why I say, well, that's why.
That's one of them, right? That's one of the side benefits there, is that it's got some medical research behind it.
That, and you're actually absorbing.
Let's take a break just with this conversation here. I want to come back to it. We'll come back to it after a few minutes. This is the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios with Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell, and we'll be right back.
We're the real wayfinders, the trailblazers, the go-getters. In a town where the desert wakes before dawn, we don't just talk, we make things happen. And when we speak, it's real, it's genuine, and it's worth hearing. Tune in every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on Canyon Country 97.7 FM. Join the Sherry Ethell Team for Keepin' It Real, where top realtors, local heroes, and the heartbeat of our community come together. Raw, authentic conversations, expert market insights, and the best local events you can't afford to miss. Keepin' It Real, celebrating our community. Bold, genuine, one of a kind.
It's the Home Spotlight Series, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty, where home stories are told until they're sold.
Escape to true off-grid living at 1515 South Hidden Valley Road in Bisbee, Arizona. This incredible 3-bedroom, 2124 square foot log cabin rests on over 30 rolling acres with stunning views from every window. The open great room welcomes you to soaring gable ceilings, rustic log beams, beautiful staircase, and warm wood floors. The country kitchen blends vintage charm and modern convenience, complete with a functioning antique stove, propane range, refrigerator, and rich wood cabinetry. Upstairs, you'll find a spacious loft with 3 cozy bed nooks perfect for guests or family. Relax on the front porch, entertain on the massive patio, and enjoy the peace of a fully independent power and water system. Most furnishings are included, making this home ready to enjoy right away. 1515 South Hidden Valley Road in Bisbee, Arizona, all for just $400,000.
Set up an appointment today. Buy and sell with the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty. We make success stories for a living. All right, welcome back to Keepin' It Real. I'm Dion Ethell, your host, and this is another week of Keepin' It Real, and I've got Shannon Harris. She's a wonderful service member from the military, Army. You know, she was a nurse, and she had a great career, some 32, 33 years in the nursing field, and then now she's doing some other things. She's had a few different jobs that she kind of lined out that we were talking about Melaleuca and really talking about the health and wellness industry. So we'll kind of go from there. Now, you know, we talked about this a little bit before too, before the show even, as we were kind of discussing Melaleuca and like the storefront and some things like that. And so you go through a representative director like yourself and get connected to this. It's a lot like people have we were talking about, have migrated kind of away from a lot of the stores, you know, the physical store. They're expensive. A lot of places now are online and very convenient. I mean, you don't have to go very far. Like we were talking about, you go to the post office and you'll see a gazillion boxes from Amazon, you know, obviously very popular, that people are buying online more now than probably ever virtually. But the nice thing, I guess, with yours is you're telling me that it's got a little personal connection there because they've got the benefit of having somebody like yourself connect them with this product and help kind of guide them through that.
Right. So if they have questions and they can't reach me, then they're connected to the company line. And I'm going to tell you, as long as I've been with that company, there's only been 2 times that I've never had the phone answered within the 3rd ring by a person.
Yeah, not a robot, not a robot other thing, the chat bot or whatever.
Correct. And those times were not totally the company's fault. Disconnect with the service and so forth.
Right.
But with that, they extended time frames for orders and things like that. But they will also answer the questions.
Okay.
So there's always some support there.
Man, I wish Amazon had that sometimes, you know, because you honestly, you get on there and the bigger they got, the more, I guess, you know, it's not as personalized. And so you're looking at all these different products and they come from all these different resources. And used to be that there was just a few resources, but now they come from everywhere and you got to look at their trusted sources. You got to look at, you know, all these things. So it's almost like you were talking about before. Now you're back into the research again. And you're having to do a lot of that work yourself. Not that that's a bad thing to do a little research. I always believe in trust but verify, you know, and make sure that, you know, you're getting what you're getting. But at the same time, it's tougher and it creates kind of a challenge and a roadblock for a lot of people, I think, just not having that personal touch and some advice from somebody who's got a little bit of experience. And we talked about, you know, a little bit about what kinds of things that you have, different kinds of products. Why'd you get into this? Why this? How did this touch your passion, you know, all those years as a nurse?
At the time, I was managing Prestige Assisted Living, and I had a friend that had a CrossFit gym. And so we decided to join the gym and everything, and he was putting on a health seminar. And I thought, both of us, we were talking about it, and we were like, okay, let's see what he's going to do. Just curiosity. Yeah. And he showed Melaleuca, the company, and the different products and what it does and how effectively they change lives and so forth. And I thought, oh my goodness. Now, understand too, as a nurse, you're kind of limited, not necessarily on what you can tell clients or whatever, but they're also kind of limited with what they're going to be able to utilize from their insurance and the pharmacy. We're not a pharmacy, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like they're covered by insurance and stuff like that. And
is that normal for most holistic type of approaches health? I noticed that,
there's changes coming to where some of them are able to do like the HSAs and things like that.
Okay.
So that's
so there may be a link coming to be able to take care of some of that.
In that regard. But
that's kind of unfortunate.
It is. So to try to talk to that population and then it was considered somewhat of a conflict time. So it's
a fine line, I'm sure.
Right. And then there's also things that, and nurses will tell you, doctors will tell you, there's some things in school they don't teach you.
Yeah.
For nursing, that's why they have separate for dietitians, nutrition, stuff like that. We're taught certain things as far as, okay, don't let or make sure you teach your client to not eat these types of foods with this medication because there's going to be an interaction or things like that. But they really didn't teach a whole lot of nutrition guidelines and supplements and things like that.
Okay.
They did stuff based on lab work and stuff. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong.
Yeah. Of course.
There's a need for all of that. I just think at this point in time as well, trying to take back and utilize medication that is truly beneficial for the person is the direction that things need to go.
Right.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. And the thing, not the supplements, I was like, was the cleaning products. I thought,
yeah, that's a big one.
Oh my God. I didn't.
If you did it for one thing, that's probably a great place to start, right?
Yeah. And then again, like I said, I'm like, I never thought about it because it wasn't bothering me. I didn't have any skin issues. I didn't have any rashes. I didn't have any of that kind of stuff. But just to think about it.
Yeah.
And I was getting older, and I thought, okay, why am I going to pay to put some essential oils to make my cleaning products smell better when they're still dangerous for me?
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Just a real quick one. People don't think about it. People use their dishwasher a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
There was an EPA study that we don't think about how it's vented out. So you have the vapors from the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
Those stay in the house, and this was a study by the EPA, up to 72 hours. So
really,
without dissipating, right?
Yeah,
so
I never think about that.
So you're breathing that. So if you run your dishwasher every day, you're never clearing out those chemicals.
God. No kidding.
Okay.
Ah, man.
So that was
terrible.
So if you have people that have, when we're talking about triggers for different
people with chronic issues and things,
it's like,
oh my gosh,
changing some small things like that.
Might be big, and boy, that even makes me think, even like my parents. So in their house, there was actually an addition built, and the laundry facility was put in that little addition, but they liked that addition because of its location for like their TV watching. And plus it kind of warms up the room a little bit with that heat, especially in the winter. But they're probably exposing themselves to all kinds of chemicals and stuff from the heat and, getting all those chemicals hot and vaporizing them. Oh my gosh. No kidding. Yeah, that makes you think, right? And here we as Americans, we take a lot of this stuff for granted. We buy a lot of products and we don't ask a lot of questions, and there's a lot of luring, advertisements and everything else for you to use this product over that product, and look how good it cleans. But nobody thinks about, does it have any byproduct for our body? And man, I would have never thought about that. A dishwasher. Wow. It makes you think about stuff. That cleaning product, ever since the egg thing, 15 years ago, it's really opened my eyes about a lot of things, and that's really something. Huh.
The other thing, and I know you're a big pet person.
Yep.
Is I had a German Shepherd at the time. Had to taste everything. Cleaning the shower, had to get in the shower, had to
lick the floor,
and they lick the pads of their feet and everything.
Yeah.
So think about what they're ingesting. when you're cleaning.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it opens up a whole new line of thinking into the health and wellness kind of thing. And I really appreciate you coming on, because it's kind of opening your eyes to so many other aspects. And it was great to hear, like the food co-op talking about fresh produce and really introducing things that are healthy in your body, make your own peanut butter there, things like that. But then here, as we're talking about, and it's not just supplements either, because that's the first thing people think about, is supplements and herbs and things like that. But even cleaning products, which, man, that's huge in our lifestyle. And we just completely probably overlook most of it. I know I did until kind of recently, in my life. And so it's just more and more. And now that I hear that, gosh, now I'm going to be really thinking about it. Now I'm going to have to look even more into it. Gosh. Yeah, you make my life more difficult. Again, you're talking to me, though. That's good. Just like all of us here. Kind of closing our conversation about it. Obviously, there's great opportunity here for health and wellness. Either very small increments, start small, build into it, and you can help anybody through there. Now, before one of our breaks, we kind of gave out your contact information and how somebody were to reach you. So if somebody's listening right now and would like to reach you and talk more about Melaleuca and again, this isn't an infomercial. It's a business spotlight. We're not endorsing anything, but this is just talking about health and wellness. We're on the topic of, New Year's resolutions and just talking about our bodies and all the crazy things that we intake. And unfortunately, we have, as we've been kind of introduced in the last couple of years too, especially just a lot of the chemicals and other things that maybe are a little more harmful, and that now they're a little more visible to us. And so now's a great time to maybe take that opportunity. So how do I contact you?
You can call me at 520-226-7769 or email me at shannonh265@gmail.com. And please leave a message if you call, because that way I know that it's somebody that's actually looking for information.
It's real.
And
yeah.
I will return your call.
Love it. Well, Shannon, I appreciate it. I mean, I feel like, we talked about this a little bit before the show, and, everybody who comes on my show, they're always wondering, do I have enough to say? And then you find out as we get to talking about it and exploring it, that there's just so much to any one of these topics. This is a huge topic. And we really appreciate you coming on, talking a little bit about it, giving us just something else to think about in our little community here. So thank you for coming on.
Oh, no, thank you for the invite, Dion. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no. Again, Shannon Harris, Melaleuca, and call her up. Give her an email, and she'll help you out. If you ever need anything, too, you're welcome to call us, and we'll refer you over to her. If you forget that, or we're driving down the road and you just couldn't get to a pen and pencil or whatever, we'll hook you up. So appreciate you, Shannon. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right. This is Keepin' It Real, brought to you by the Sherry Ethell Team at Long Realty Studios. Folks, we'll be right back. Hope you're having a great day.
Well, folks, that's a wrap on this week's Keepin' It Real radio show. As always, we're so grateful to have you spend part of your Saturday morning with us. Whether you're sipping coffee on the porch, out running errands, or out shopping for a home, we appreciate you. If something we said today sparked a question, or if you've got a great topic or guest idea for a future episode, we'd love to hear it. You can drop your suggestion in the Keepin' It Real suggestion box at the front desk of Long Realty, right behind Denny's on Fry Boulevard. Or just shoot me an email at sherry@sherryethelteam.com, or call or text me anytime at 717-599-2439. We love hearing from you. It helps us keep this show real, relevant, and rooted in our Cochise County community. We'll be back next Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. right here on 97.7 Canyon Country, your first choice for legendary country.
Until then, stay safe, stay kind, and as always, keep it real, Cochise County.
What's in a name? Everything. Long Realty has been a cornerstone of Southern Arizona's real estate market for nearly 100 years. Our name is our bond, and our agents are our strength. Trust in the name that stands for experience and expertise. Visit longrealty.com or call 520-459-4993 to connect with an agent today. Long Realty. Smart move.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Keepin' It Real radio show. Join us next Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. for more engaging interviews with top realtors and industry leaders, keeping you informed about the latest trends in real estate. Stay connected with us as we bring you updates on the dynamic events shaping our vibrant community. From exciting local happenings to noteworthy charities and causes, we've got you covered. See you next week for another edition of Keepin' It Real.